In trU Tips 12, I talk about a word called followership. And if you want to go online and read a little bit more about that, you can go on my website at www.thetrugroup.com. But right now I want to talk about how to turn followership into leadership. So in that conversation I want to talk about why it matters and what great followership looks like. First of all, why does it matter? I deal a lot with organizations and leaders in transition, and here's what I notice. When leaders are under stress, and we've all heard this before, communication breaks down. Well, here's a graphic of what it would look like. You have the leader and you have the individual or the follower, and really what most of the conversation is around is, what do I need? And that tends to be what leadership often looks like, especially in an organization where people are under a lot of stress. Introduce great followership into this equation when you're focused on that. And here's a graphic of what that looks like. The leader not only talks about what they need, they also share with their filters or their own individual goals, which is often the why of what they need. And maybe they admit to some of the talents that they have and some of the things that they really are looking for from the follower. So now here you have the follower has received the invitation. There's strong ownership. They not only come into it thinking, hey, I have something I have to do, but I have my own needs. If these things are, if these are the types of things I have to be doing, what are the things I need to be successful? And by the way, where does this fit into all my goals, and how does this align with my talents? It becomes a conversation. Great followership is inviting and owning a conversation. So I talk about 5 levels of followership, and again, this is what does great followership look like. The lowest levels of followership, I call them the minimizer, the doer, and even the attractor. And again, you can read about that a little bit more on my blog. But more importantly, the higher levels of followership, I call them level 4 and 5 followership, is the improver and the influencer. And to really look what great followership looks like, let's dive into what the influencer is. And here's the definition of the influencers. Influencers are people who see opportunities to alter strategies or activities that will have a big impact on the organization. They measure their contribution by the big things they get started. They look for opportunities to engage in work that they consider to be significant. Now look again at those definitions and those words. Opportunity, strategy, significance, big things. Great followership really becomes great leadership. You might not have the title, but you have that kind of impact. I introduced this word because great followership really is in support of great leadership. It's the conversation that actually makes things happen and 2 people are involved. I guess if you're going to leave this video with one thing, is that great followership begins with an invitation. And when I look at the followers, the one thing that they always remember and that they begin to understand is, yeah, they might get the invitation, but then they need to grab the ownership. Again, trU Tips number 12, I talk about followership, and hopefully in those last few minutes you've gotten a sense of how great followership is really great leadership.